Friday evening, my wife and I were sitting at home watching a movie. I could hear my phone ringing. My wife was sitting close to it, quickly picked up the phone. And she looked at the phone, she opened the flap, and she was reading something. The next 2 minutes, she saw me, stern look at her face, and there was a suspicion evident from her expression. I was a bit worried. So why is she looking like this? So I grabbed the phone, I looked at it, and I could read the person who's calling, the name, but I could not recollect who this person could be in this short time. So it was a late evening, time was about 11 o'clock, and I didn't bother to take the call. I disconnected, and I put it in the vibrator mode, put the phone down, close to me. The next few seconds, I could hear there was some sound, the vibrator sound, and this time my wife really grabbed the phone, picked it up and opened it. And I could see that she was attempting to read something, and probably a text message. I was worried, in fact I was scared. Again she gave a dirty look, and this time I was annoyed, not knowing what it is. I grabbed the phone, looked at it again, and now I could see that there was a message in there. The next moment I saw is my wife stood up and she went off. And that was a bit uncomfortable for me. But what I saw was nothing but there was a WhatsApp message which said, please, 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 need to talk to you. Urgent. No wonder my wife felt embarrassed, she went off. Good afternoon, TM fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. And the person who's trying to reach me and later on who spoke to me was a 12th standard girl student. And the next few minutes when I spoke to her, I could sense that she was extremely disturbed. She was depressed. And then she told me that she wanted to meet me. I said, okay, we'll meet probably the next day. I told her to come to a park which is near my house, which is also not too far from where she lives. A nice park. I told her 7 a.m. She reluctantly agreed. So it was the next day. So I went for my usual morning jog, and I was settling down to do some exercise. That's when I saw her coming in. I told her to join, to do some exercise. I noticed that she was wearing her specs, and I said, okay. The idea was to get some time to know what it was, So I told her, look, do exactly what I'm doing. I want you to do some exercise, probably some that's good for the eyes. She reluctantly agreed. And I said, okay, look straight, then look up, look down, look to your right, look to your left, then rotate eyes anti-clockwise, and do it 5 times. And then the next thing I told her is, let's look at the facial movements. I told her to look on the right side, then straight, then left. By this time she got bored. She said, sir, I came here to talk to you. Now you're asking me to do so many things. I said, no worries. Do one thing. There is a bench there. Go sit there for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Be calm. Let me finish with my exercise and then join you. Which she agreed. And after 5 minutes, I went there. Then we started discussing. The simple thing, or probably the most complicated thing, is that she felt she was so stressed out because of the studies. And the top 3 reasons that she was saying is that there is huge expectation from the parents regarding the marks, and huge expectation from the friends and the inner circle about the marks and what she was going to do. The second thing is she was doing something that she doesn't like, because she was compelled to take a common stream with math when actually she was interested in humanities. The third thing being she's so confused as to what she could do in future. What is it that she could choose for higher education and for her career? Now, I didn't have an answer for any of this, so I listened to it patiently. Then I told her, why don't we meet the next day? That is nothing but I didn't know how to deal with it, so I thought I'd buy some time to do it. And I went and did some research, spoke to a few people, and then when she called me, I told her, why don't we meet the following day? Which she agreed. I understood the situation. There are quickly 3 things that I want to point. One is the problem. The system that is designed, or it appears to be, is that everybody is psyched that the marks are the most important thing that they have, the top grades are the most important thing that they have to look for. for a college admission and the career forward. And what are the consequences because of that? The consequence is somebody getting depressed, the students in that age, and related issues that happen. The second important thing is that the cost of choosing a wrong degree or the cost of choosing a job which is not something that they wanted to do is financially devastating. Many appear to be not factoring that fact. No, once you see the consequence, now what I realized was that why don't I look at what I can do for them? So I spoke to a few people, the principal of a school, a psychologist. And what I did was very simple, two things that I want to share. I said, I will mentor this girl. I spoke to their parents, and I, with the help of my friend who was a psychologist, gave her an assessment test. That is to understand her personality, her interests, and then mapping it to the career choices. The next thing is I introduced, I shortlisted about 4 options, all this in span of 3 months' time. And I made her meet a few people who are experts in those areas. And now I'm happy to say that she's into the college, she's chosen what she wants to do, and parents are also happy about it. Now, one important thing that I realize is that people here, those who have the knowledge and experience, can contribute to the development and support these people, which probably the parents may not be able to do is because they are emotionally invested in that individual. So, my appeal to everybody is who has the experience, who has the knowledge will be, is together we build a better world here. Because we cannot envisage or imagine what the kid would want to do over a period of time. But at least we can provide sufficient information that can back up. I want to close it with a quote from John F. Kennedy. It says that the future promise of any nation can be directly measured with the present prospects of its youth. Thank you.